Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the World Trichology Society live show, WTS live show, guys. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
We have the full panel today, guys, and we have what a buffet we have today for you guys. And this is the show. This is the show of the whole year, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I haven't introduced myself. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sergio Cardona, and I welcome you to the WTS Live Show, coming to you live from different places around the world right now. So I cannot say where I am now because we have people in Florida, we have people in Canada, we have people in Chicago, we have people, where you at, Will?
I'm in Ohio.
You're in Ohio. We're here in Puerto Rico. So thank you guys for tuning in week after week and making the WTS Live Show your favorite show for getting education, for getting entertainment, for getting everything that you guys need for your business, for your trichology business, for you to grow as a person. And oh my gosh, we've been growing so much over the last year. It's been amazing, guys. And so just before we continue, we have to remind you guys of our CTEs, our continuous trichology education credits. Only thing that you need to do is comment on the video. Comment on the video and get your credits. And remember that at the end of the quarter, you have to get your spreadsheets. Fill your spreadsheets so you can get your credits and you can claim them. And before we go, I want to say thank you guys for being here. So I'm going to change the view so everybody can see us live. We have Bisan Dipsy. How you doing, Bisan?
Hi. How are you guys? How are you, Sergio? We have the board here with us. So how are everybody doing?
Yes, we got Jennifer McCowan. How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm very well, Sergio. How you doing? It's exciting to be here today.
Dr. David Kingsley. How you doing, David?
Hey, I'm doing brilliant. Thank you, Sergio. You've got so much energy, it just sort of like washes over you.
Yes.
And, it makes me want to rock and roll.
Hey, if it makes you want to rock and roll, we're rolling, baby. William Garnitz, how you doing, William?
Hey, I'm doing good, Sergio. This is awesome. I'm excited to talk about the conference and get everybody involved.
And last but not least, our favorite, Karen Gordon. How you doing, Karen?
Aren't you sweet? It's nice to be with everybody again today. I'm coming to you from Chicago, so thank you everyone for joining us.
Guys, we have a lot to talk about, but first, let's remind everybody what's about to happen, and that is on May 16 and 17, WTS Live Summit. We're going to be having such a wonderful event, and everybody's going to be in it, and everybody wants to be in it. So before we get into that, because it is so exciting to talk about that, I wanted to talk to you guys about why and how did you get into trichology. And I'm going to start with Bisan. Bisan, how did you get into trichology in the first place?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. And I love this story, actually. And I would love to share it with everybody here and listening to us. I started after my master's in biotechnology, I work at Stanford University. We used to study peptides and we used to test peptides on mice. So one day we did the famous PRP procedure. Back then we did it, we extract the PRP from fat tissues, not from blood like we do it now in hair transplant surgeries. So, and one of the observation we had is these mice has more hair. So this thing intrigued me a lot. And then it happened that after my work at Stanford, I traveled to Dubai. And I met a famous hair transplant surgeon where I worked with him as a consultant for at least 6 years. During all these years, hair transplant is the last thing you do in a hair loss treatment, right? So all the people are coming, they do not know anything. They did not do anything before coming to a hair transplant surgery. And I always said, there's a lot of stuff that can be done. Why people don't know that? Why people, there's not a lot of education about hair loss from the beginning, how to prevent it as well. So I kept digging and researching. And when I came back to the United States, I was adamant to understand what is the cause. Hair loss is a chronic thing, right? We need to understand before why it happens, not wait until it goes all the way to a hair transplant. So, and when I came here, I also started to doing SMP or scalp micropigmentation procedures. And my third shaved head guy was a guy with a secretial alopecia. And believe it or not, I had no idea what the word secretial alopecia means. I worked in a hair transplant center for, at that point, will be 8 years. And I have no idea what secretial alopecia means. And I have in front of me a guy with this depigmented skin, and I have to do SMP on it. And I start researching, what is this condition? Is this going to be okay for me to do SMP on it or not? And while I'm digging and researching, I came into the World Trichology Society, and I was emailing Dr. Kingsley. It's like, there's going to be something that makes me understand what is this behind this scalp condition for me to treat it as a scalp micropigmentation artist. I don't know what I'm going into, what I'm digging into. So when I studied trichology, actually, then when I understood what's going on, now I believe that every person in a hair transplant clinic, whether a consultant or a front desk or a hair tech, they should understand the hair loss condition and scalp disorders before even talking to a person, even consulting with a person. With any SMP artist. I did deliver for this person a good SMP work only because I researched what is this condition that this person has. So studying trichology helped me a lot to be a better scalp micropigmentation technician. I was a better consultant, and it took me so far just by studying the reasons why people have this hair loss. It took me so far. I'm tapping into functional medicine now only because I understand that hair loss, like trichology, is everything. Trichology is the mother of all sciences. It's not enough to be a biologist, or it's not enough to be a cosmetologist. You want to be the whole package, you're going to be a trichologist.
Wow, that's excellent. I mean, wow, what a story, Dr. K. I mean, what brought you to this game?
Well, I started in England in 1980. I actually qualified through the Institute of Trichologists in London. I worked in a family business, came over to the United States, and then I opened up my own clinic. And what I found was that, you know, there was no US, at least at that time, there was no US-based organization for US and Canadian, if you like, North American trichologists. And also I felt that we needed more education. You know, okay, we're certified trichologists, like, you know, becoming cosmetologists. And then doing
I'm on a
nothing
live.
else.
I can't talk.
Okay.
Hey,
We're live.
Right. So anyway, so I just, you know, it's like people became trichologists and then that was it. They didn't learn anything else, or there was no other information or whatever. So my wife Yvonne and I formed the World Trichology Society to try and bring more education to trichologists, try and raise the level of education to become a certified trichologist, and to continue to work on that with these live weekly, with the newsletters, with new courses that we're going to be bringing out. So basically, I don't know if that was my story, but that's my story.
But you're sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it, exactly.
There you go.
Can't hear you, Sergio.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, guys. Again, this is live.
This is live.
Like the Oscars.
It should be our new promo.
So, Jennifer, what brought you into the trichology world?
Well, I started as a hairdresser. I've been obsessed with hair since I was a little girl, cut my own pony off when I was 5. And then 10 years ago, my dad was killed in a car accident a month after I had a baby boy, and I had lost a significant amount of hair. And so my dermatologist told me I was going to be bald by the time I was 60. My general practitioner said, here's some minoxidil, and if it doesn't work, there's not a whole lot I can do for you. And so I just really the Ukrainian stubborn part of me really reared its head, and I kind of needed to know if they could put a man on the moon, why can't someone regrow my hair? So I started researching trichology, and I came across Dr. Kingsley's course. And at the time too, I was kind of getting bored as a hairdresser being behind the chair. I felt like there was a little bit more out for me than just redundant colors, one more color, one more cut. And so when I came across Dr. Kingsley's course, and I realized how much science, and all of a sudden it wasn't just about hair, it was about how my body's going to work and how much better I can make someone else's body work. And it just kept going and going. Like Bisan said, it's sort of like the mother of all things, because you can dibble dabble in just about every area of medicine. And I focus on functional medicine as well, especially when reading blood and things like that. But it is a total game changer. So I've retired from behind the chair as a stylist. I am full-time focusing on trichology. I'm the only one in my province. And as of last month, congrats, Dr. Kingsley, there's finally
Yes.
2 of us in Central Canada. And it's a game changer. And every single day I have patients coming in saying, oh, I wish I would have seen you 5 years ago. I wish. But there's just a lot of people, and a lot of people need help. And it's probably it was hands down the best decision I ever made for my career.
Excellent. William, what brought you here?
So, yeah, I started losing my hair when I was 17. And at 41, I still have most of it, which is pretty good. So when I was losing my hair, I was really concerned because I was so young, and my father was bald at 30, my grandfather at 25. And I honestly didn't want that to happen to me. And I ended up going to a lot of physicians at 20, 21, and they all told me the same thing. They're like, here, take Propecia. Here, take minoxidil. And that's the best we can do. And then my favorite line was, come back when you've lost more hair so we can do a hair transplant.
Yes.
And I'm like, hold on. What you're telling me is you want me to lose more hair, and then you're going to surgically move it to the top of my head. I'm like, that's not a good idea. So I happen to have a biology background. I happen to be in a career where I was very successful early in life. And so I had the resources to look into trichology and look into some things that were happening outside of the United States and import them into the US, really from my own selfish reasons, which was to regrow my own hair. And I was successful. So I ended up actually studying with the MIT group. Originally never actually became fully certified. I didn't do my clinicals, but I went through all of their course. And as I actually was in the business for quite some time, and I had opened a clinic, and I had been in practice for almost 9 years at that point, I ended up finding the WTS. And I was like, look, I want to finally complete my clinicals so I can fully say that I am, with an organization. And I met with Dr. Kingsley, and that's what we did. And so I ended up, breezing through the course pretty easily, and then going to clinicals and learning, even though I had been in the business already treating clients for almost 9 years, I learned a lot in the course. And I was officially certified through an institute in the United States. And that, helped my career. It helped really push some new ideas that I had to the forefront, helping more and more clients, and change my business permanently thereafter. So it was very exciting.
Nice. Karen.
So a little bit like Jennifer, I'm also, she's no longer a hairdresser. She's moved full time into being a trichologist or hair loss specialist, but I'm currently still a hairdresser, working my way out of that. But I've been a hairstylist, salon owner for 40 some odd years now. And as I got to be about 50 years old, I started noticing I had some attrition in my appointment book. I had clients who had moved away, I had clients who had passed away. And I found it's really hard to build a clientele when you're in your 50s in the salon business. A lot of people want to go see younger hairdressers. And as a salon owner, I felt an obligation to fill the books of the other stylists before I filled my own book. So I was trying to figure out, what do I do next? How do I keep my books full? How do I do something that's engaging and interesting? I've been doing hair for a long time, a little bit like Jennifer. You know, I've been doing the same highlights and trends change. I need a little bit more stimulation. And I noticed that more and more of my clients were starting to ask me about thinning hair. They were asking me, did I notice their part was wider? They told me that their ponytails were thinner. I really felt like I didn't have an adequate answer for any of them. And here I've been servicing some of these people for 40 years, some for 30, some for 20. So I did some research on trichology, you know, went to Dr. Google, and there was a conference, I believe, in Washington, D.C., and packed up my bags and I went off to that, and I fell in love with it immediately. I realized it's a side of my profession that I really didn't know much about. It's a way to help people at a different level than what I had been doing it at. It's not so much the artistic side, it's the clinical side. And I really fell in love with the science of it. Like Jennifer was talking about, the science is very important to me as well. And that's kind of how I got into it. So I started a salon, Karen Gordon Hair Loss Solutions, which is inside of my salon. And slowly but surely, like Jennifer, I'm transitioning into full-time trichology. But it's probably, I did mine. A lot of people go into it because they've had their own personal experience, like Jennifer and like Will. I didn't have a personal experience. I really did it more as a career move, and very happily so. I think it's one of the best things that I've done. And then once I got a little bit more information underneath my belt, I decided it's time to become a certified trichologist. So I signed up for WTS and went through the program. And Sergio, I met you at clinicals, and that was a beautiful day. Met you and your wife and some other phenomenal people. And now there's this amazing community of people. So that's my story. That's why I got into it.
I mean, we all have incredible stories on how we began. But I mean, one of the things that got me curious to this moment is, why did we choose WTS? Of course, Dr. Kingsley, it's easy for you. You created it. But for each and every one of you, why did you guys decide to choose, among many other options out there, why you guys choose WTS? Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
So when I was researching trichology, I came across courses with 2-day courses, 3-day courses. And I was looking like, I'm a scientist. A 2-day course is not going to teach me anything that I don't know, right? And it doesn't mean if you want to learn hair science, it's hair science, for God's sakes. It's going to be 2 days. What we're going to, I don't get it. So I immediately knew that these courses is not going to be the legitimate course. When I read the curriculum with Dr. Kingsley or the World Trichology Society, I was reading the curriculum, and yes, exactly, that's what I want. Hair anatomy, yes, I want to understand hair physiology. I am a biologist, but we never study the stuff. I never knew the stuff before. And the types of hair loss, of course, and what's important, more important, as a scalp micropigmentation technician, I want to understand scalp disorders. I wanna understand the difference between them, why this happens, and how to treat it. And that was the curriculum of the WTS was the only outstanding one that I came through or I came across.
I have to say, on my personal experience, I mean, Dr. Kingsley, in 2009, he sent me to another school because back then, you know, he was developing the WTS. And when I saw what was on the other place, you know, I was into it, but not fully into it. But until I saw WTS, you know, that really got me hooked. Jennifer, how about you?
It brought out the geek in me. That's what
Tricho geek.
Yeah, I got that.
True tricho geek.
So, Dr. Kingsley has a different name for the females. What was that, Dr. Kingsley? Tricho geekette?
Yeah, a geekette.
A geekette.
Or tricho geek.
Sorry, Jennifer.
So yeah, no, that's what it was. To me, I had compared a few different schools, like you said, but to me, like you said, Bisan, you said it perfectly. This is about hair science. And so I didn't want to take kind of just a fluffy course. The 2-day courses, 3-day courses, like you said, you're not going to learn anything. And you know what, when you have a real client sit in your chair after you've taken a 2- or 3-day course, they're going to pick you apart, and there's no way you're going to know how to answer proper questions. And so I wanted something that was going to be hardcore, full of scientific facts, so that I could even, you know, defend myself in a doctor's office. And so nobody even compared to where my searches were other than the WTS. It was just amazing.
Will.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, really, the WTS stuck out to me. Again, I've been in practice already for almost 9 years. And if I was going to associate myself with somebody, it needed to be medical. It needed to be something above my existing pay grade at that point. And realistically, there was no other option but the WTS. It was the only one that actually made sense in the sense of you're learning the medical aspect of trichology. And there really wasn't a focus on cosmetology because I wanted to learn about growing someone's hair back. I didn't want to learn about, how hair color is going to affect the cuticle. And that was for me. And that's just why if I wanted to be a cosmetologist, then I would have went down that path. But if you want to be a trichologist and you want to treat hair loss and you want to treat scalp conditions, and you want to physically correct the situation that's bothering someone in front of you from a hair loss perspective, there literally was no other choice. And it was obviously the right choice because the society has grown so much since then. And it gave me so many tools that I didn't even have at that point in time, again, being in practice already for 9 years. And we had a physician on staff, and this taught us even a higher level than what the general medicine that was already integrated into it. So this is, if anybody who wants to be involved in trichology at a high level, a medical level, who really wants to bridge the gap between cosmetology and medicine, this is the only course available that does that.
Yes, I believe so. Karen, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with both Will and with Jennifer. I mean, I chose the program after a lot of careful research. I asked a lot of people which programs they recommended. I've actually started other programs, but a 2 or 3 day program isn't enough. I mean, if you just want to look at someone's scalp in a salon and recommend, a treatment before a haircut, that's one thing. It's fine for that. But if you really want to be a true practitioner of trichology and really understand the causes of hair loss and really try to treat people, you've got to take it to the next level. And the reputation with WTS was just stellar. And that's why I went with it. Clinical time was very important to me. I wanted to do my clinical time in the United States as much as I'm a world traveler. It was important to me that I didn't have to travel to London or Australia or China or India or wherever to do it. Other things were going on in my life that didn't allow me to go away for that. And it became, I also understood that there was a community here, although it's a worldwide organization for where we're based in the United States, where I'm based in the United States, it's got a very strong community, and community means quite a bit to me in the learning process and also afterwards in the support process. So it was a no-brainer, and I would recommend it to anybody. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the nth degree. I mean, at 36, I went back to school and got my undergrad degree, even though I was working in the salon, and I followed up with my master's degree. And I sort of feel to some degree like this is my master's degree, working on a doctorate degree in what I do in hairdressing, hair loss, trichology. So.
That's amazing. I mean, I understand what you're coming from when you said about the clinic. The clinical training was something, and I was in love with my clinical training, and I got the best of it because I got to meet you, Karen, got to meet Dr. Kingsley, and so it was a wonderful experience for me. And how about you guys? Open mic. What do you guys thought of the clinicals? I mean, it was amazing for me. It was an eye opener. I mean, I was already in business for how long? 15 years, 20 years, something like that, and, coming to Dr. Kingsley's clinic, it was an eye opener. Can you tell me, guys?
I loved it.
Quick run.
When I was coming from small town in Canada, basically here, so to be able to go to the big and fancy Staten Island and meet the big Dr. K like this, I have pictures beside his name in the hallway, before I even met him. And to me, it just upped my game. I really had to bring it to the table. I loved the one-on-one with Dr. Kingsley in the class. Like Karen nailed it. Community is everything. And you find this bond with your people in your class, and it hasn't stopped. I'm still in touch with everybody from my class.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too, actually. Me too. I have my best friends from my class. Hopefully they're watching right now. And to add to this, also the clinical training, as one of the students said, Kimberly Jerkins, she said it switched. There's a bulb that switched in the clinical training. And I heard it from many students right now. It's just like there's a bulb that switched in there, where you put all what you learned in the 28 chapters all in 5 days. And I want to add to it also, I fell in love with World Trichology Society that Dr. Kingsley and we founded the World Trichology Society in the Middle East. So we translated the whole thing in Arabic, and now we have a branch, total branch in Arabic in the Middle East. So I am so excited, and I'm so grateful for you, Dr. Kingsley, that you allowed me to open this opportunity to the people in the Middle East. You know how much hair loss, hair loss problems we have, that nobody knows what to do, and then now they can learn it in Arabic, in their native language. And I guess for you too, Sergio, right?
It's the same thing, you know, to be able to teach World Trichology Society trichology in Spanish. I mean, our students, they love it. They love it, Dr. K. And I know you have a face like you're about to cry, but seriously, man, we love you. We love you. We love you. We love you for what you have done for all of us, what you have done for the industry. And it is a wonderful opportunity, you know, to express it like this for the world to see.
And it's the world trichology. It is the world trichology.
You know, one thing I'd love to add to that is very often you'll do advanced training programs or you'll go through something and a lot of people drop out and you don't see them years later. And I had to go through clinical training twice. I had to break it up because of a personal situation in my life. But I see the people from my class going on and doing great things. They're not people who just took the class and then dropped out and went away. But we know some of the same people, Tiara and other people. And I say, oh my gosh, they're going places, they're doing things, they're practicing, they're in practice, and they're doing very, very well with it. And that means a lot to me as well.
Yeah. And you feel proud. Oh, this is my colleague. Oh my God, look how she's doing. Yeah,
these are my classmates.
Oh.
Yes, it's something special, something special.
Yeah.
But today, guys, we have to talk about the summit. So we got, I want to focus on the summit a little bit. We're going to be talking about the people who basically are going to be presenting on our WTS Summit. So I'm going to share the screen with you folks so that we are able to see some of that.
Yes, it will.
Yes, we have here a lot.
Let's start from the beginning, maybe.
So I'm going to share the screen with you folks. Okay, so there's something in the so that we are able to see some of that. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
so we're live.
Okay, I was hearing something. Okay, all right. We have here. Who do we have here?
Dr. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Rappaport.
Yes. The screen is not really so.
It's not focused. Can you?
Yeah. Let me see. Maybe my screen. Can you guys read it?
No.
Here you go. Perfect. Now it's good. So Dr. Jeffrey Rappaport, he will be talking about PRP and exosomes. And in our one of Monday live webinars, we talked about that. So it's going to be a deeper look, of course. But this is a highlight of what we're doing in our Monday live webinars. Dr. Alan Bauman, he will be talking about COVID and hair loss, which is going to be very relative now these days with us. Dr. Elena Arsova, she's going to be talking about the famous scalp threading. It's just a new technique, and it's really interesting to learn from her.
And by the way, in that presentation, she did her professionally produced presentation on scalp threading, and she granted us the license that normally is a paid course for herself. She granted us the license to use that for this summit. So it is professionally done and looks amazing.
Wow, very nice. Wow, I'm so looking forward to that. Perfect.
Thanks for making the rest of us look bad.
Dr. Jerry Shapiro, he's going to talk about secretial alopecia. We have a lot of questions from a lot of students and members about secretial alopecia, which is a really important subject. Dr. Antonella Tosti is going to talk about trichoscopy, which we all need as trichologists as well. It's going to be something to look forward. Dr. Gregory Smith, he's going to be talking about canopoid in hair loss treatment. I love that. Looking forward to this. And also Dr. Wasserbauer is going to talk about principles of hair transplant and the low-level light therapy. She really has a good presentation on that. She did a lot of research. Watch for this presentation, guys, low light therapy. It's more than what we already know. Dr. David Kingsley, like we can't. Who's going to talk about the latest research, which is important for all trichologists, of course. Zakiya Melis is going to talk about natural hair movement, and I love that. It's we saw that also on one of our live webinars.
Yes.
Dr. Jeff Donovan is going to talk about 10 questions I ask everyone who has hair loss. Consultation, consultation, consultation.
Yes.
Dr. Bissam Farjo is going to, Bissam, not Bissam, Bissam, is going to talk about pitfalls in hair transplant surgery. I love this guy because his name is like my name.
There you have it.
And oh, that's me, Bisan. I am not going to talk about scalp. Actually, I'm going to talk about scalp micropigmentation with Emma Farlong, because we together are putting together a course of scalp micropigmentation for trichologists and trichology course for scalp micropigmentation artists. So the course from two ends, basically. And this, my favorite girl, Kate Dawes, is going to talk about nutrition and gut health, which is the base of hair growth, basically. And the famous, the well-known Eva Broudman is going to talk about 119 years in trichology. You guys don't want to miss that. That's your history right here. History right here. And the famous Mark Blake is going to talk about using your senses before a patient consultation. I like that. You guys you don't want to miss that too. Jennifer, you're going to talk about the art of consultation, consultation, consultation. It is an art, Jennifer, and you are the best in this art. William, the cool dude, is going to talk to how to.
Mr. Inc. 5000, guys. Mr. Inc. 5000.
If you listen to this, guys, how to build $1 million trichology business, you will, and think abundantly, your trichology business will be $1 million trichology business. And the one and only Sergio Cardona. I can't do your laugh. Thank you. That's it. Why you should become a trichologist? Yes. Listen from the one and only. You got it from a family, from your father, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And Carolina Rigero, she's going to talk about operating a successful trichology practice during a pandemic. Awesome. It's just, I mean, like, see all the subjects from all over the place. It's just perfect. Dr. Enrique Bonella, he is a hair surgeon, right? I read, where is he from? Oh, yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to remember. He's going to talk about hair transplant, which is a non-surgical approach for a hair transplant. and Melinda, Melinda Galloway, she's going to talk about trichotillomania and her actual story, how she overcame trichotillomania. And it's a wonderful story. You guys want to look at it. Saif Siddiqui, he is my Egyptian friend from the Middle East. He's going to talk about SMP repairs, since we were talking about SMP and the bad stuff that we're seeing in the market, and how to repair it, basically, because there's a lot we're going to see. And also he's going to talk with Candice about removal. It's called undo, I guess. It's called undo removal, which is a removal of SMP with no laser involved. And the Scalp King, Matthew, the Scalp King, he's going to talk about creating new hairlines and concealing hair transplant scarring tissues. And you're going to really want to listen to this, Kimberly, my favorite girl, she's going to talk about scalp disorders and best practices in Afro hair.
Love it.
Yes. And Celestine, she's going to talk about dynamics of hair transplant on Afro-ethnic hair. Listen to this, navigating the hair follicle curve. I like that, because hair technicians don't understand, if not all of them, they understand that the hair, African hair is a curve. And when they do a hair transplant on it, that's why African American hair transplant is not very successful, because they have to learn how the hair follicle looks like before entering the surgery. That's why trichology.
Oh, yes.
And Professor Yulia, she's going to talk about eyebrow loss.
Excellent.
So it's like all of these subjects, is various subjects, you guys, like from all over the world, from all over the continents with all these subjects, you don't want to miss that.
Now, the question that we have to ask, Dr. Kingsley, why you decided to create this summit? Why did you decide to create this summit for all of us? And your mic is off, Dr. Kingsley, just in case.
His mic is off because of Billy.
My dog was getting so excited about the summit that it wouldn't stop barking, so I had to turn my volume off. Well, obviously we wanted to, well, last year, March, we had Orlando, but that was just at the beginning of COVID, just before lockdown. And the society really wants to have some sort of get together, if you like, a summit or a conference every year, because we want to bring everybody in. We're a community, we all love each other. But this year, of course, we couldn't do it. So what we thought, and I worked with William Gornitz, who's been brilliant.
Yes, he is.
Was, you know, why not take advantage of being able to do it virtually and maybe getting in a lot more people than possibly if it was just in person, because, you know, obviously people then wouldn't have to fly in and what have you. And so we put together this program where we wanted to touch every single aspect that is important to trichologists. And what we found is a lot of medics, a lot of medical doctors are going to be watching or have joined the summit, because it is, we've pushed it to the limit of between cosmetology and dermatology. And we pushed it a little bit nearer the dermatology, because we feel that you need to know some paramedical information. And I mean, people like Dr. Shapiro and such like, I mean, top people in the world. And we're looking forward to it. And Will should be thanked considerably as well for helping.
Yes, he is. We love you, Will. We love you. I mean, without you, this thing wouldn't happen.
I just put the pieces together. So, I mean, you know, the joint effort of everybody on the board, and obviously David and Hassan, and essentially everything that we collectively bring together. This is something that we talk about, you know, so far tonight, is that the culture and the sort of unified front that we are all on in the WTS is what makes this organization special. It's what allows us to be, quite frankly, better than all the other organizations, in the sense that we are a unit working together towards the common good, which is not only progressing ourselves as trichologists and learning, but progressing trichology worldwide to not only in the United States with medicine, but as a unit, and bringing together all of these other societies to say, hey, look, here we are as trichologists. We're not just a 2 or 3 day course and we're waving around a certificate to go sell you some hair growth goo. We are an actual scientific team in an industry that is progressing and really bridging the gap that needs to be bridged. And we're here. And the great news is that everybody watching this and who are attending the conference, they can join us and be a part of this movement. So that's something everybody should want to get involved in if you're actively in trichology, and join us in moving this whole society, this whole industry forward.
So what can we expect out of this event? I mean, this is something so spectacular. Jennifer, can you tell us what can we expect out of it? I mean, it's amazing.
You can totally expect your mind to be blown. I know that, because there's just so many topics. Even just reviewing them with you guys now, I picked up even a few more things. So literally, like Dr. K said, we've got some of the best in the world. It doesn't matter if you're a hairdresser or not. It doesn't matter what level of education you're at. Even if you're a hair loss sufferer yourself, you're going to learn something throughout this summit.
Sure.
I think the price is incredible. And basically, you're not even paying $10 a speaker. And where else can you find that kind of information for that value? It's insane. So,
it's insane. Definitely, it's insane.
I don't think that people know that there's 30. Sorry, can you say that, Jennifer? There's 30 speakers.
Yeah, 30 speakers. And then you can watch, like, nothing rips me apart more than when you see a fantastic speaker and you wish you would have recorded it, because there's a bunch of things in between you forget. But having the chance to be able to go back for the next 6 months and re-watch everything you learned, that to me is just invaluable.
I believe so. I believe so. So William, can you give us an example? What are we getting on this summit? I mean, we understand that we are seeing it live, but it's also on demand. What else we have here?
Honestly, it's never been done in trichology. So what somebody's getting, going to the summit is it's an online educational platform that essentially is delivering the cutting edge information that you'd get at a conference in an on-demand scenario like you would with Netflix. You can scroll through and choose which speaker you want to watch. You can scroll through and see which category you want to watch. And it's all on demand for 180 days. So day 1 goes live on May 16th. Day 2 goes live on May 17th. But after that, you can watch all the content for 180 days thereafter. So you can rewatch it 100 times, memorize it. I mean, whatever you want to do. It's simply never been done, and it hasn't been available like this. Even better than that is that you will get an actual certificate of completion, not participation. You're not going to just get, a little white piece of paper that you can stick on the wall and be like, I was there even though I didn't pay attention. This is something that if you pay attention and you watch every single bit of content, and you end up actually going and taking the quiz after every section of content, then you will get not only 10 certified trichology education hours, so towards your fellowship if you do choose to become a certified trichologist, but you will actually get a certificate of completion, meaning that you watched every single aspect of this conference, and then you took a quiz and you had to get an 80% to actually get this certificate of completion. So you can put that on the wall and be like, not only was I there, I completed every aspect of it, and I got my CTEs, I got my completion certificate, and I am now a better cosmetologist, dermatologist, trichologist for it. And I know I'm going to be getting my CTEs. I mean, and I'm on the back end putting this thing together, and I'm looking at it going, ooh, I can't wait to watch this. So this is some powerful stuff. And then on top of that, everybody who's involved in this, they're going to get some special discounts. They're going to get some special participation, because this is, again, there's 530 participants already. This has only been live and able to be purchased for 1 month. So in another 3 weeks, we expect another couple hundred. By the time this is all said and done, we expect over 1,000 participants. Those 1,000 participants are then going to be a part of sort of this next level of education, and this is just going to keep on coming. So if you're not in this and you're not watching this and you let this opportunity go by at 10, 15 bucks a speaker, then you're not serious. Get serious and get your seat before the price goes up, because it's going up again, actually. So
I love what you just said. I love what you just said, because we have such a huge value on this event. It's amazing. Karen, I wanted to talk to you about that, because, I mean, you organize big events for the cosmetology organization over there in Chicago. You have one of the biggest events ever in cosmetology in the world. I mean,
I'm actually sitting here tonight checking out one of the venues for our show that's coming up in September. But yeah, I'm the president of Cosmetologist Chicago, America's Beauty Show. And I've got to say, what we're doing with the World Trichology Society and the summit is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, this is truly a dream team for all of us. I mean, all of us here on this presentation tonight got together and said, who do we want to see, and pulled together. It's like being at the Oscars, truly. These are the who's who and the best people within the trichology industry. And we're not all under one roof, but we're all going to be on one computer for everybody to watch. And prior to COVID, I was on the road every other weekend traveling to hair shows. I can't begin to tell you how much I spent between taking an Uber to the airport, getting on a plane, feeding myself, getting a conference ticket. And now you can do all of it from the luxury of your own home, your own office. You can go back and watch it. Like Jennifer said, if you saw something and you're like, oh, I want to go back and revisit it, or maybe you got distracted, somebody called, it's going to be there, on demand for you. The value in this is so amazing. And some of the speakers I would never even have access to. Maybe people in the medical profession would, but as a cosmetologist who's now practicing trichology, I really can't get into all of the medical conferences. So some of the people who will be speaking, I don't even have access to. So we've got an absolute all-star lineup. You'll never get it at a better price. It really is. There has never been a conference, a summit, anything like this ever. And believe me, I try to go to everything that there is. So if anyone out there is wondering, is it a good value? It's an amazing value. Think of, it would take you probably, if you went to every show to see all these people, it'd take you probably 20 years and more than $20,000. I guarantee you.
I believe so. I believe so. Jennifer, why do you think that there's so much interest in the summit? I mean, there's such a buzz, such a feed, going into the social media. I mean, William has done an amazing work, by the way, in terms of marketing. But I mean, what is it? How you call it? The X factor or something like that? What is it that is in getting so much people invited into it?
I think it's a couple things. First of all, I'd like to toot William's horn because the presentation he did is incredible. It's so exciting, but it simply captures what's going to happen. And I think that the WTS and all of the new trichologists out there, I think we've created a little bit of a buzz in the industry. And I think the more people, like as we all know, hair loss is quite prevalent. And I think more people want to know a little more. The public wants to know more. Cosmetologists, like Karen said, things get redundant behind the chair and you want to be able to help more. What do you do when you reach a certain point? And I just think that this conference, I think it's just exciting because this is uncharted territory for many people.
Yeah.
And it's going to, like Bisan said, it covers every single topic from all over the world, and it's never been done before. Like Will said, this is so extraordinary. It's so incredible. And, thank you to Dr. Kingsley because, he spearheaded the whole thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he did. Karen, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think that one of the advantages, you know how we were talking about community, about the World Trichology Society community, but what we really like as well is we want to bring in people from other organizations. We're welcoming of you. It's not just WTS or see you later. It's WTS wants to hug everybody, wants to bring everybody in, help everybody. Doesn't matter where you got your certification from. We want to help you. We want to educate you, and we want you to feel comfortable in our community. And if you see some of those speakers, you see some of them are from other organizations who felt very comfortable with how we are as a society. And this is very, very important for the World Trichology Society to try and help bring trichology together for the better of everybody.
I believe so.
This is why you are the king.
Dr. Kingsley is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Kingsley. So, Karen, I wanted to talk to you a bit about, after the first few ads, the phone has gone crazy about the amounts of people that want to join in and become speakers. I mean, why is it? I mean, I was mentioning, we're talking with Jennifer, what is it that is bringing in people to be part of the show? I mean, to watch the show, but why is it that that brings in speakers out of the woodwork, out of the woods? We're coming out everywhere. We want to join in. We want to be part of this. And have you seen anything like that and on while you're developing shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that people always want to be part of something that's the best, and you want to associate with other people who are at the highest level of your industry. And the people who are speaking are of an extremely high caliber at the summit. And I mean, it's an honor to be included, to be one of the speakers. I'm teaching as well. Class didn't get mentioned, but I'm going to teach about transitioning from being a hairstylist into a trichologist. And
that's a huge class. Don't want to miss it, guys.
And I posted on social media really what an honor it is. I mean, for me to be in this and I don't want to call it an elite group, but it is with such people who I admire and who I respect, but also for the people who are, you know, the Dr. Donovans, the Dr. Baumans, of course, Dr. Kingsley and the others. I mean, they want to associate with one another and be a part of something that's really of a certain credible level. And I think that that's why they're participating. And I think that's why people who are members of other organizations also understand nobody's left out. The real purpose is to create a community and to educate us at a higher level. It's a massive amount of information, a massive amount of education. And I think when they see the integrity that's behind it, they want to be a part of it and they want to disseminate their information. You know, they've been asked to come speak, come help others grow, you know, give us your information, help us move forward. It's been a really tough time with COVID, not being able to travel to conferences and do other things. So I think that's part of the incentive, but I really think it comes down to integrity and wanting to associate with the best and with a group that is really, you know, I like to call us non-denominational, to Dr. Kingsley's point. We're all inclusive right now. So that's part of it.
We are
I believe so.
together.
I believe so. So, Dr. Kingsley, what it is that you believe that this event could achieve for the industry, for the trichology industry?
Well, you know, when I first started with the society, people said to me, why are you training people to be your competitors? And I said, what? I said, I want people to be good at their job, which is going to raise the level of all trichologists, because it's really your weakest point is what brings you down. So if we are all strong, it's going to bring the whole industry into a higher level. And that's basically why, you know, as I said, you know, we're all encompassing. We want people to come in. We want to help them. They can come in, come out, do whatever they want to do. But I think that the summit is a step to reach that goal, to make trichology mean something, to be the top of its profession. That is, I think, what the summit will achieve.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I
we
believe
bring
so.
our
You were
forces
saying?
together. Yeah, we bring our forces together and we grow together.
I believe so. I believe so.
It's
So,
going to
Biz,
be incredible.
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome, baby. I'm so excited. I just got, oh my God, I have to control myself. I mean, I get so excited so quickly. Biz, tell us real quick, because we are about out of time, about the website. We have a new website, and you wanted to mention something about it.
Yes, please. I want to say that now we have a very nice version of our website, very updated version. And thanks to our friend Kerry, who did an amazing job on the website. Now it's the students. All what you have to do is go log in, create an account, so you can download your chapters right there in front of you. And now every chapter up to chapter 6, there is a video, Dr. Kingsley explaining that chapter to you. So you just read your material, then you listen to Dr. Kingsley's lecture video, and if you have questions, please let us know. But it is just right there in front of you. And now after every third Monday, we will announce that we will have a Q&A, live Q&A Zoom meeting with all our students. You are in chapter 7, you're chapter 8, you're chapter 9, just we can help you go through it. So all what you need to do is—
That was not available at my time.
A lot of things happening, guys, a lot of things happening. This is WTS is gonna be, and it is be like the best thing that any student can experience. So please just go create your account and just you will roll. And for the members, for our valued members, you guys have a GU directory. Go add your name there. Go put your face there. It's gonna be searchable on Google. It's gonna be on a map. So please, every member, go create your own page. You can put your picture, you can put your bio, you can put your location, so people can search you up. It's a great opportunity for you. So please just go create your account and show us your nice pictures.
Dr. Kingsley, before we go out, I wanted to talk to you about the fellowship program. It is a great honor to be among the fellows trichologists, and why is it so important for everybody to thrive, to become a fellow of the World Trichology Society?
Well, obviously there's prestige, but also you're showing the public that you are achieving post-graduation education levels. So to become a fellow, you need 60 CTEs within a 24-month period of time. You need to be a certified trichologist for 3 years, and you need to attend a seminar or a webinar, no, I'm sorry, a summit or a conference hosted by the WTS every 2 years. So there's a lot of you out there that could be fellows and haven't applied yet. So, you know, this summit will help you achieve to become a fellow, but you're not just a fellow and then that's it. You need to keep up your education and prove that you have to remain a fellow. And I think that that is something I don't believe is being done. And I think it just shows that the fellows, their education is continuously, you know, they're continuously being educated.
It's like the physicians, they have to maintain certain amount of SMEs. So we, our trichologists, we have to achieve certain amounts of CTEs per year.
I like that because it basically it creates a standard, you know, there's a bar, you know, to reach and a bar to surpass, you know, to go over it, because we want to grow larger into our professions, and we want to be the best trichologists that we could be for our customers, because at the end of the day, the ones who benefit from all of this knowledge is our customers. Our clients, our patients, they get the best care ever. They get to wear, you know, the hair that they deserve. Thank you, Mark. Mark Blake for the slogan, you know.
Copyright.
Hey, William, before we go, there's something that you want to announce to these people, and that's we have a promo code. I'm going to show it right now, and Williams, take us from there.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, if you guys haven't purchased your conference ticket, you know, the price over time has gone up. So the early bird special has changed over time. So, you know, to allow you to kind of get back to that place where, you know, it was still an early bird, we've provided a coupon code, and that's going to get you back to that early bird price. So if you're watching this, you're going to get a discount. You're going to get it back down at $2.99 rather than where it is currently. You're going to go in all caps, you're going to go WTS Live or LIVE, and that's 50. And that is essentially where it's going to save you $50 off of the current timeline. Now, if you don't use this before the launch date, then it's not there for you. And I apologize, you're not getting any special. So you need to go and do it now. So, and then if you didn't know already and you like to procrastinate, which is fine, then on May 16th, on the launch date, it actually goes up again. So this is the last time that you're going to get it at this price. And I highly recommend, if you haven't done it, take advantage of it. If you already have, you've already gotten the best earlier bird special. So feel comfortable in that. But go and take advantage of this, because if you do not do this, then you are not serious about trichology. So get serious and come to the conference.
That's it, guys. That's it for today. Get serious for the summit. We love you all. Thank you, board. This is the best board ever, guys. The best board ever. The advisory board members of the WTS. Can't thank you enough. I don't know how God made us to be together, but we're here together, and it is for a big purpose for all of you, for all of us, and to grow. And again, we cannot thank enough Dr. Kingsley. You have set the path for all of us. Thank you.
I couldn't do it all without you guys, you know, so thank you all.
Thanks for your guidance.
Thank
Thank you.
We love you.
Well, see you guys. We'll see you next Monday. God bless you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.